South Carolina has been excellent in the last couple of seasons at producing NFL caliber defensive backs. Nick Emenwari last year, Cam Smith back in 2022, J.C. Horn, the list goes on and on. And this year is no different. Cornerback Brandon Cisse has been generating a ton of buzz in the last week and is a player who has been excellent this year for the Gamecocks. With his tools and traits, how high could he hear his name called in the 2026 NFL Draft? That is what we will be going over in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a ton and lets me know you guys are enjoying the videos. Comment down below which prospects you guys want to see me talk about in a future prospect spotlight just like this one, and without further ado, let's get into it. Brandon Cisse was a 3-star recruit in the 2023 recruiting class and started his college career at NC State. He played 148 snaps as a true freshman and 361 snaps as a sophomore. In his time with the Wolfpack, Cisse had 30 total tackles, 15 run stops, allowed 25 receptions for 300 yards, and had just 1 interception and 3 pass breakups. He entered the transfer portal last winter and ended up committing to South Carolina, where he has been one of the biggest breakout stars in all of college football this season. So far, Cisse has played 388 snaps for the Gamecocks and has 20 tackles, 13 run stops, an interception, 6 pass breakups, and is allowing a reception percentage of just 40.7%. He's been locked down this year for the Gamecocks and is a guy who has garnered the attention of scouts all over the country. The first thing that really sticks out when watching Cisse on tape is his rare athletic abilities. This is one of the most fluid movers I have ever watched at the cornerback position and is a player that just makes it look so effortless. Cisse has really rare speed. I expect him to run in the 4.3s at the worst because his ability to stick with receivers vertically is second to none in this class, and I fully expect him to be the fastest corner at the combine. But it's not just the speed that's impressive. Cisse has very good fluidity. He moves his hips extremely well and has very good change of direction. From a movement perspective, Cisse has everything you could want. On top of all of this, Cisse is one of the younger cornerbacks in this draft class, and he'll be just 20 years old on draft night, so the untapped potential that this player has with his athleticism and his age are definitely going to get him taken pretty high. I also think Cisse checks the size boxes. While I'd like to see him add on weight, which we'll talk about in a bit, I think his 6-foot frame is more than serviceable on the boundary, and I think he has excellent arm length to go along with it. Once again, checking the thresholds that NFL teams look for from an athletic standpoint and a size standpoint. The other thing I'm really impressed by is how versatile Cisse is. He can really do everything on the back end of your defense. He is best as a true boundary corner, playing in press coverage. I think he's got an excellent punch at the line of scrimmage, and we mentioned the speed to go along with it. He plays physical in press, which is a trait that I love to see, and I think he's an excellent man-to-man cover corner. As a zone defender, he also flashes with very good, disciplined eyes. He's not overly aggressive, and he has closing speed to make a play on the ball. But South Carolina loves to move him around their defense. He has played some in the slot, he has played some safety, and when they dialed him up as a designed blitzer from the slot, I was pretty impressed with his speed and his ability to slip off of blockers. I think there are a number of different ways you can use Cisse, and defensive coordinators are absolutely going to love that about his game. I think by far the biggest weakness right now in Cisse's game is his play strength. He's listed at 190 pounds, which seems like a pretty good weight for a boundary corner, but I want to see Cisse bulk up a little bit because there are times on tape when he's bodied by more physical wide receivers. I also think the lack of play strength really shows up as a tackler. Cisse has pretty poor tackling technique and is very much an arms tackler at this point. He has really struggled this year to consistently be able to wrap up in the open field. He's missing nearly 18% of his tackles this year, and I want to see him get a little bit stronger and be more of a reliable tackler out in space. The other area I would like to see improvement in is his ball production. Cisse only has 2 interceptions in his college career and just 9 total pass breakups. 3 of those came week 1 against Virginia Tech. The traits are all in there, and I love his closing speed. I do think he makes good plays on the football. I just want to see him be a little bit more productive at finding the football in the air and coming down with more interceptions. Brandon Cisse is an awesome cornerback. He has the size and length that you look for on the boundary. He's incredibly fluid in terms of his change of direction, and I think he is the fastest corner in this draft class as well. When you add all of that together, plus the fact that he will still be 20 years old on draft night, I think you do have a very strong case that Brandon Cisse could be the number 1 corner in this class. For me, I'm not ready to commit to him as the number 1 guy, but I do have him as my number 3 corner in the draft class and my number 24 overall prospect. There is a very real world where come draft night, he will be my number 1 corner because I just think the traits are so impressive. But I do think that Delane and McCoy have earned a little bit more benefit of the doubt up to this point. In terms of a scheme fit, I think Cisse is best suited in a heavy press coverage man-to-man scheme that allows him to play on the boundary. While I love his versatility like we talked about, I think he makes his presence felt the most when he is playing on the outside in one-on-one coverage. His ability to mirror wide receivers' routes, stick with them vertically, and play physical in press coverage is very rare, and I think you're doing a disservice to him if you're playing him in a zone defense. While I think his zone IQ is good and he is a very smart defender, I would much prefer to see him in a press scheme where he can be physical and show off his elite athleticism at more of an effective rate. My player comparison for Brandon Cisse is Baltimore Ravens cornerback Nate Wiggins. Wiggins is a smaller cornerback in terms of his weight, but the height and length that he provides on the boundary are awesome. Both are very good, very physical players in press coverage who have elite burners. Wiggins ran in the 4.2s at his combine, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if Cisse does the same. Both have struggled to make tackles at times, but the motor and physicality aspects of the cornerback position are there, so I think he could be very similar to what Nate Wiggins has been in Baltimore. Brandon Cisse has a strong case for CB1. He has all of the physical traits that you look for in a starting boundary corner, and he is still so young for the position. I am a huge fan of his game, and ultimately, I believe that Brandon Cisse will be a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft.